This video is going to show you how to embellish a handmade burp cloth. So if you need to know how to make a handmade burp cloth, go watch that first video. The first thing I'm going to do is cut a strip of my pretty fabric to go right down the center section of this burp cloth. So I cut it to be 4 inches by 17 inches. These edges are raw. I've made the burp cloth and I have left all of my outside edges raw because I want to sew this decorative panel on the top and then finish the edges with it on there. Now I'm going to pin all the way around this section because remember, we love to pin. I love to pin. I don't love to pin, actually, but I'm always frustrated when I don't, so it takes a little extra time, but it's always worth it. In the first video, I show you how to sew down the center sections if you're not going to embellish. So if you are planning on embellishing the burp cloth, you don't need to do that. So now I'm just going to sew around the edge of this. I'm going to leave these edges raw. I'm not going to finish them, so they're probably going to fray when it gets washed, but that's okay. That's kind of what I want. So I'm just going to sew about 1/4 inch in all the way. Well, at this end I'm going to sew right along that same stitching line and then 1/4 inch on the two sides. So when you sew the panel on the top, you want to start in at least 1/4 inch so you don't have stitching. You just want to have a rectangle of stitching. So I'm going to start in a little bit, about 1/4 inch, and I'm going to leave my long thread so I can pull them to the back and tie a knot so I don't have ugly back stitching on the front of my cute burp cloth. And I'm just going to sew all the way around. I'm going to kind of stretch, and I'm going to sew along this first stitching line that I did the first when I was making the burp cloth. And I'm going to stop about 1/4 inch from the edge of this center panel. Lift up the presser foot and turn it with the needle down in the fabric, and then keep sewing just with the edge of the presser foot along the edge of the fabric. And go to where my first stitching line is, turn, again stop about 1/4 inch from the edge, turn, and go back. And this center panel is going to give the middle of the burp cloth one extra layer to make it even more like a cloth diaper. So if you are really in a pinch, you could use it as a cloth diaper. Don't forget to stretch as you go down. And then I'm going to stop where this line of stitching meets the first where I started and cut, leaving a long tail so I can tie a knot. Again, you just pull. Now, next time I do this, I'm going to do white thread on the back so you can't see it. So now we have the handmade burp cloth using bird's eye fabric with a cute center section. And you could stop here, and if you're going to stop here, you would want to do pinking shears around the edges, or a zigzag stitch, or serge, or somehow finish those edges. But I'm going to do another little embellishment on top in the next video.